I've started the box already, so we don't have to wait for that to start. So today is on memory forensics. If you remember from day 18, they took the memory dump of a process. So we've got that on hand, which we're going to analyse today. So we've got title is CrypTOYminers sing Volala-lala-latility. Right, so the elves are hard at work inside Santa's Security Operations Centre, looking into more information about the insider threat. While analysing the network traffic, Log McBlue discovers some suspicious traffic coming from one of the Linux database servers.
Hello from the UK, D.
Shut up, text-to-speech. Right, so quick to act, Forensic McBlue has created the memory dump of the Linux server along with the Linux profile in order to start investigation. Today we're going to understand what is memory forensics, how to use it in a digital forensic investigation. We're going to understand what volatile data is and what memory dumps are. We're going to learn about the tool Volatility, how it can be used to analyse the memory dump, and we're going to learn about volatility profiles. So what is memory forensics? Memory forensics is also known as volatile memory analysis or random access memory forensics. It's a branch of digital forensics. It involves the examination and analysis of a computer's volatile memory or RAM to uncover digital evidence and artifacts related to computer security incidents, cybercrimes and other forensic investigations. This differs from hard disk forensics where the files on the disk can be recovered and then studied. The forensic evidence focuses on the programs that are running when the memory dump was created. This type of data is volatile because when it's deleted, or it gets deleted automatically when the computer is turned off. So in forensics, volatile data will refer to information that is temporarily stored in the computer's memory or RAM. It's easily lost or altered when the computer is powered off or restarted. Volatile data is crucial for digital investigators because it provides a snapshot of the computer's state at the time of an incident. Any incident responder should be aware of what volatile data is and the reason that when they're looking into the device that it has been compromised. An initial reaction might be to turn off the device to contain that threat, but yeah, if you do that, you lose all the data. So some examples of volatile data are running processes, network connections, RAM content. Volatile data is not written to the disk, it's constantly changing within memory. The issues here is that any malware running in memory, meaning that if any network connections running processes are spawned from that malware, it will be lost when you power down the device. This means that the valuable evidence gets destroyed. So what is a memory dump? A memory dump is a snapshot of memory that has been captured to perform memory analysis. It will contain the data relating to a running process captured from when the dump was created. Benefits. Memory forensics offers valuable benefits in digital investigations by capturing real-time data from the computer's volatile memory. It provides rapid insight into ongoing activities, detects stealthy threats, captures volatile data like passwords, and allows investigators to understand the user actions and the system states during an incident, all without altering the target system. In other words, memory forensics helps confirm a malicious actor's activity by analysing a computer system's volatile memory to uncover evidence of all unauthorised or malicious action. It provides a crucial insight into the attacker's tactics, techniques, and potential indicators of compromise. So another thing to keep in mind is that capturing a hard disk image of the device can be time-consuming. You have to consider the problem of transferring the image, which could be hundreds of gigabytes in size, before you even consider how long the analysis will take the incident response team. This is where memory analysis can be really helpful for the IR team. Capturing a memory dump of any device will be much faster and smaller. Suppose that we prioritise RAM over the hard disk. In this case, or in that case, the IR team can already start analysing the memory dump for the IOCs while beginning the process of capturing an image of the hard drive. So what are processes? They are an independent, self-contained unit of execution within the operating system that consists of its own program code, data, memory space, and system resources. Imagine that your computer is a busy chef in a kitchen. The chef can cook multiple dishes simultaneously, but to keep things organised, they use separate cooking stations for different tasks. Each cooking station has its own ingredients, pots, pans, and these cooking stations represent what we call a process in the computer. Is crucial in memory forensics because knowing the process, knowing that the Knowing the process that we're running during the capture of the memory dump will tell us what programs are also running at that time. We can categorize processes into two distinct groups. So we have user processes. These are processes run by the user. They typically involve applications, and software users interact with them directly. So the example given is Firefox, so a web browser. And background processes are ones that operate without a direct user interaction. They often perform a task that is essential for a system operation, or by providing a service to user processes. So the example given is an automated backup. It runs in the background, periodically backing up data. Another example would be like a HTTP server, a DNS server, like some kind of background process. Right, so today we only need the VM that I've started. There is a split screen, obviously, and we've been given SSH credentials. So we need to kick open terminal. Wants to start. Double click again. There we go. And I will make it big enough to avoid my giant head. Out there, that should be good. And then we need to do SSH Ubuntu at, and we need the IP address, so you've got to go all the way up the top. Grab your IP, paste it in, and then we can continue. So enter there, say yes, and Volatility. There we go. Right, we're logged in. If your browser is not copy paste, friendly use the split screen view. Okay, yeah, whatever. Right, so Volatility is a command line tool that lets digital forensics and incident response teams analyze the memory dump in order to perform memory analysis. Volatility is written in Python, and it can analyze snapshots taken from a Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Volatility has a wide range of use cases, including the following. Listing any device and closed network connections. We can list the device's running processes at the time of capture. We can list the possible command line history values, and we can extract the possible malicious processes for further analysis. And the list keeps on going. So for this task, we'll examine the memory dump of the Linux device. For your convenience, Volatility is already installed on the VM, and we can look at the different help options using vol.py-h. So vol.py-h. I did a dot at the start, let's go with that. There we go, so it's going to print out some of the help options. If you want to know how Volatility can be installed and all the other benefits, you can check out the Volatility room. So, okay, this is a sub-only room, so you need to be a subscriber. You can use my link to get £5 credit. But at the time of writing, there are two versions of Volatility. Volatility 2, built using Python 2. Volatility 3, using Python 3. There are different use cases for each version. Depending on this, you might choose one over the other. For example, Volatility 2 has been around for longer, and in some cases, it will have more modules and plugins that have yet to be adapted to Volatility 3. For the purposes of the task, we're going to use Volatility 2. Before we start analysing the memory dump, let's go into the profiles and how Volatility will use them. So profiles are crucial for correctly interpreting the memory dump of the target system. A profile in Volatility defines the operating system's architecture, version, and the various memory specific to the target system. Using the appropriate profile is crucial because different operating systems and versions will have different memory layouts and data structures. Volatility comes with many profiles for the Windows operating system, and we can verify this using vol.py-info. So vol.py-info. There we go. So we've got loads and loads of plugins there. So loads and loads. Loads of address spaces, and we've got tons and tons of Windows profiles. Have we noticed that there aren't any Linux profiles? Profiles for Linux operating system have to be manually created from the same device as the memory dump. Here are some reasons for why we typically have to create our own profile. So Linux is not a single monolithic operating system, but rather a diverse ecosystem with many distributions and configurations. Each distribution may have a different kernel version, different configurations and memory layouts. The variability makes this challenging to create a one-size-fits-all profile for Linux. Unlike Windows, which has more standardized memory structures and system APIs, Linux kernels can vary significantly across the different distributions and versions. This lack of standardization makes it difficult to create a generic Linux profile. Linux is an open source, meaning its source code is readily available for inspection and modification. This leads to greater flexibility and customization, but it also results in more variability and more memory structures. So creating a profile is out of the scope for the room, so for your convenience, a profile has already been placed in Home Ubuntu Desktop Evidence Directory called that. So we need to go into that, I'm guessing. So cd tilde desktop evidence. So there we are, and ls. Right, there's our zip. To use the profile, we have to copy it to the Volatility where it stores the various profiles for Linux. The command is cp, so copy zip file, and we're going to copy it to local lib python 2.7 site package it. So basically the library, so that Python 2 can run it. And then we can run vol.py info grep ubuntu to confirm our profile has been set. So we'll paste that in as well. And there we go. So it's printed out to say that the profile is there. So that's good. If you're curious about how to create the Linux profile, you can find this article by Nicholas Begila. Someone else can pronounce that. This is very helpful now that we can begin our analysis. Memory analysis. The file linux.mem. Thank you for the GG. Alright, so the linux.mem contains the memory dump for the Linux server that we're going to analyse. The file is located in our home directory. For Volatility to begin the analysis, we have to specify the file with the F flag and the profile with the profile flag. We can then use the H flag to look for all the different plugins that we can use to help with our analysis. So I'm just going to copy this. So vol.py, Linux mem, so the file, the profile we're going to use, and then H. So just paste that in. So there we go. So there's all the plugins that we can use for Linux. Let's start with the history file. The history file is a good place to start because it allows us to see if there were any commands executed by the malicious actor while they were on our system. To examine the history file for any commands, we can use the Linux Bash plugin. The command will take a little less than a minute to finish executing. So we're going to run vol.py, linux.mem, using that profile, and then this time we're going to run the Linux Bash instead of the previous one. Which was just -h, so you can paste you in and let that run. So when we're performing a cross-reference check with the ELF analyst who was using the server, we can identify the following suspicious commands. The SQL-u root -p redacted will be the answer, command was used by the ELF analyst, but cat home elfie bash history command was not. This means that the malicious actor most likely saw the MySQL command and had access to the database. There is a lot of sensitive information about the merger and the pipelines that the malicious actor could have gained access to. So we can see that they've run sudo su, they git cloned Lime, they made Lime, so they actually built the binary. Bash history, so they looked at the bash history, they got it again for some reason, they got a root password for MySQL, and they downloaded the TOYMiner and got the bash history again. So yeah, so here we go, we can identify they got the TOYMiner command, which the ELF analyst confirms they didn't do themselves. This tells us that a malicious actor used curl to download TOYMiner. They saved it with the -o parameter and named it miner. We can also see that the malicious actor executed the miner file using the miner command. Now that we understand that the malicious actor, what they executed, we can look in the system for running processes. So in memory forensics, examining running processes is a fundamental, crucial part of the analysis of a system's memory dump. Analysing the running processes in memory forensics can be highly effective in identifying anomalies because it provides a baseline for what could be expected in a healthy and normal system. For example, we know that the miner was a program that was executed, so let's see what the process looks like. To examine the running process on the system, we can use the Linux PS-Lisp plugin. So I'm just going to type up, get rid of bash, we can do PS-List. So there we go, there's a big list of processes. As you can see, the plugin doesn't just list each process name, it also lists a process ID and the parent process ID. This helps us determine what is often referred to as a parent-child relationship between processes. There's only two anomalies that we can quickly identify. The ELF analyst confirmed that they didn't execute the miner process, and based on the program name, our initial assumption is that they may have been dealing with a crypto miner. A crypto miner is short for cryptocurrency miner, and it's a computer program or hardware device used to mine cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual currencies that use cryptographic techniques to secure and verify transactions on a decentralized network called a blockchain. Our insider threat could be trying to use our Linux server to mine cryptocurrencies and make some extra elf bucks. Hey Theo! So the MySQL server appears to be benign, but this is misleading. The real process for MySQL is called MySQLD. As listed above, the ELF analyst confirmed that they didn't execute this, and given the process ID of this process, because it's different from the parent process ID of the miner, the process didn't spawn from the miner. We'd like to know more about these processes. A good way to do this is by examining the binary of each process, and we can do this via process extraction. A good way to understand what the process is doing is by extracting the binary from the process. This will give us help to analyse the behaviour using malware analysis. We also want to extract the binary as a form of evidence preservation. To extract the binary of the process for examination, we can utilise Linux procdump, and we just need to create a directory to indicate where we would like the extracted process to go, and we can create that with the makedir extracted command. So let's run makedir extracted. Then we can utilise the D flag to tell Volatility to place the extracted binary along with the indicated process ID, and then create a separate directory. It doesn't just help us stay organised, it's required by Volatility to avoid errors. Based on our file history and the running process finding, we're now going to extract the miner and the MySQL server binaries by using the commands below. So I'm going to copy that. I need to place the process ID for miner, so we need 10280. There we go. So we've got our offset miner, and it's been extracted to that file. And then we need the other one. So run it again, and this time we want 291, so that we grab the MySQL server binary. Cool. So if we go extracted, there's our two binaries. We can go back up. So remember to replace process ID with the actual process ID from the previous step. We have successfully extracted the suspicious programs into the extracted folder. Having heard all the commotion, McSkiddy offers to help you with the investigation by taking over operations threat intelligence tasks. McSkiddy needs the MD5 hash of every extracted binary, and we can provide that with the following. So we need to do MD 5 sum, extracted, miner, grab that, and we also need MySQL. Add break. There we go. Right, so in the meantime, remembering what we learned from the Linux forensics room, if we've done it, Forensic McBlue wants to check for persistence mechanisms that may have been planted by a malicious actor or the crypto miner. Persistence mechanisms are a way that programs can survive after a system reboot. This helps malware authors retain their access to a system even if it was rebooted. Good old McBlue remembers that a common persistent tactic is a cron job. While it isn't a plug-in to view the cron jobs, we can review them by enumerating for a cron file. As stated above, we want to look at any cron files that have been placed by the malicious actor or the crypto miner. This can help us identify if there are a persistence mechanism at play. For example, the MySQL server process that we found before part of the persistence mechanism, but how can we enumerate the files on the server? If we utilize the Linux Enumerate Files plugin, it will help us to do this. The benefit is the plugin will help us review any files of interest. The plugin's output will be too large, so we can utilize grep to help us focus our search. So if I press up a couple of times, we get the vol command, and instead of proc dump, we want enumerate. It's not going to auto-complete, so enumerate files, and we want pipe to grep -I cron. So give it a little while, we should get something similar to that. We quickly identify that the cron tab located in var spall cron tabs elfie, so it'll be that one. We speak to the elf analyst who will confirm that they didn't have any cron job set up on the server. We now can extract the file by selecting the inode value, which is the hex-like value to the left of the file name, and using the -o option with the name of our file, we can place it inside of the previously created extracted directory. So it wants to hurry up. Let's stop it there because I can see it. So let's paste the next command in. So it's already given us the file name, and then it's extracted elfie, so that will go there. So that's done. So if we go ahead and examine the content of the elfie file, so cat, oh yeah, we put it in extracted, don't we? Extracted elfie. So there we go. So there's the cron task. So we've got a var temp, system python updates MySQL server, and so we can see where it was placed. With all the overwhelming evidence, Elf McBlue decides to move the incident following the company incident response and incident management process. Given the nature of the incident threat, along with the current news of the acquisition, the next question that arises from this incident is, are the pipelines safe? So we might need to check that out in tomorrow's task. So questions. So what was the exposed password? So I need to scroll all the way up to the bash history. Grab that. What was the process ID of the miner that we found? So that was... Scroll down. So miner was 10280. What was the MD5 hash of the miner? So that was there. Copy you. And what was the MD5 of the SQL Server process? So that was the one below. Use the command strings, extracted miner, give the process ID from question 2, and then grep for a URL HTTP. So we need to place our process ID in, which is 10280. There you go. So we've got invalid lookup or McGreedy secret C2 THM maybe. Let's try that one. No, I didn't like that. Maybe it's the whole thing. Oh wait, we've got to defang it. So we need so let's do it. Let's go to CyberChef. And defang. There we go. After reading the Elfie file, what was the location of the process? So we had that. It was var temp MySQL. Bosh. Right, that's all of them. So if you enjoyed the task, check out the volatility room that we already looked at. So we might do that on stream at some point. But yeah, that's it for day 19. So not a terrifically hard one. Let me stop the bot.